Y'all, we have got to talk about Holly and Dwayne and their non-existent marriage. But let's get into it, you guys. It is 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, Part 2 to tell all. And it is Mary.
And Alma.
And we invite you guys to like,
subscribe,
and comment down below, you all, because, you know, it seems like Kenny did kind of maybe, I don't think triggered Holly, but maybe sparked some feelings that she's already feeling about Dwayne. Kenny basically said that, you know, it seems like Dwayne really is not into you. He does not really like you. Like, he is probably running away from your emotions and all this stuff. And she broke down and was crying and all this stuff, and Dwayne was trying to support her, whatever. But I think Kenny does have a point. But I also feel like with Holly, that's why it's so important before you get married that you have your emotions kind of in check and you kind of have that on lock. Because I feel like men are not emotional creatures, really. Like, they have the capacity to tap into that and be a good husband and tap into the feminine side of them and everything. But I feel like
your spouse is not your therapist.
Your spouse is not your therapist.
You need to get your mental health checks.
Yeah.
On your own. You have to get all that emotional healing done, hopefully before you get into a relationship. But you can't depend, and even if you're still dealing with stuff before you get married, you get that therapist.
Yeah.
Because you can't depend on, or get that support system that you talk to outside of your marriage.
Right.
You know, like girlfriends or mother figures or mentors, whatever. But it's too much to ask your spouse to help you navigate all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they'll be there for you, but you also have to strive to help yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But so, I don't know, I just feel like maybe he is, because whether you have a broken phone and you are refusing to basically get it fixed and all this stuff, you're not talking to your wife in almost a month because of that. Maybe he just can't deal with it or whatever, but that's when you have communication. That's when you go and get therapy, Holly. You know what I'm saying? But you should be able to be with somebody who is there for you and also does not run away from you. You know what I'm saying?
And he has a broken phone, he hasn't got any fixed.
Yeah.
And also be with someone who is financially stable.
Oh, let's talk about that. Because apparently
man can't fix his phone. Like,
well, it seemed like he also was triggered.
And so for a whole month, because you can't fix your phone, like, you have not gotten the money you needed to fix your phone so you can communicate with your loved one. What's going on with that?
Yeah. But so speaking of that, it seemed like what's the word? He was a little bit triggered because she basically told him that, you know, the thing is, his business was good and everything. He said he was able to support me before I came, whatever, but it seemed like his business tanked before I got there, whatever. And it was like I was using my credit cards to help him pay for materials for his business. He did not like that at all. Because all of a sudden people were like, well, we'll help you buy a cell phone and all this stuff, making poor jokes about him and all this stuff. And he was like, you know, I'm the provider. And he was like, well, you're basically telling all these people that I didn't have money and that you have credit card debts and stuff. And she's like, you know, I'm here working in the U.S. because I have these credit card debts, and who's going to pay them? I have to pay them, so that's why I'm here and all this stuff. And he's like, well, you know, I'm like,
how are you providing for her if she's using her credit card to buy,
and she said she's now in debt because of
materials.
I just think there's a lot of factors here. The man is having problems financially. She is maybe too emotional for him and all this stuff. I don't think they're not meant for each other, but I feel like maybe they need to come back together at a later time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe there's too much going on. And you know something?
When he gets his finances together, he might not want to be with you.
Yeah.
And when you get your emotional healing work done, you might not want to be with him.
Yeah. But I feel like also Dwayne, sometimes he seemed like he could be a bit of an a-hole. I remember he was talking about how, you know, I don't want my woman dressing like a prostitute or whatever because she wears short skirts and all this stuff. Like, yes, America, our dress code, dress code is a lot more free and all that stuff. But for you to say that she looks like a prostitute or to insinuate that is a little bit of an insult. Yes, here in Africa, it's an insult. It's an insult. I do understand that it is best to dress more modestly. I did experience that firsthand when I first came here, because when I came here, at first I was dressing like an American. But sometimes you do get negative attention. and I had gone through something when I was at the beach or whatever and stuff,
Right.
which was not my fault
Absolutely
or whatever
not.
because I was on the beach dressed like people would when they go to the beach. Actually, I was
Exactly.
even more covered.
You were more covered.
I was more covered because I didn't even bring a swimsuit. You know what I'm saying or
Right.
whatever. But here, people would dress modestly. You might be
And there's
thinking,
no excuse for that, for someone to come and grab you.
yeah. I mean, that's what happened to me basically. Someone tried to assault me.
Yeah.
Not like sexually assault me, but they touched me or whatever. Stuff.
Yeah,
they
they tried to
grab me or whatever and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it was
and pull you into the water.
yeah, and all stuff.
You know, when you were like, I don't want to go into the water.
No, I mean I was already in the water, whatever. But like they tried. I used to be a
pull you
lifeguard.
deeper
They tried to
into
pull
the
me
water.
deeper into the water, which I like.
And
My goodness.
surround you,
Yeah.
which
Like next thing you know,
violated
there was
your
three
space,
different men.
you're
like
violating
trying to.
space.
Yeah.
And that's what someone told you that's what they do. They'll
Like-
try to get girls and get
They'll-
them as deep into the water. A lot of the women don't know how to swim here.
Right. I'm a
And
lifeguard.
so
luckily.
the woman will be so frightened, and then they will go out there and sexually assault her in the depth of that water.
Yeah.
You know, and
In order to
Yeah.
help so the women will have to go through that in order for them to get back to the shallow end.
right, they
or whatever.
still have to help them too. So the woman
So-
will still be like holding on to them to help them to get back.
Yeah.
So it's like someone has assaulted you,
Right.
and then you still have to depend on them to get back.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's quite traumatizing. Somebody
it's
told me that's what some of the
traumatizing.
boys
Luckily
do there.
for you actually do know how to swim.
Yeah, I mean, I've been swimming for 10 years, and I was a
You know.
lifeguard, and then I taught
And
kids
you're
how to
able
swim.
to tread the water
Yeah.
and fight them off while you're treading that water.
Yeah, but
And
that,
be like,
that
no,
whole thing
so-
was very traumatizing.
But it's
I did not go to the
traumatizing 'cause
beach
you're
for a
like-
while after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing or whatever. But I do understand that here in Africa, you do have to dress modestly. Like, you might be thinking that
Yeah.
people are all not wearing
But
a bra and
regardless,
barefoot in
yeah.
Africa, but that's not it.
You
like
had a
people,
t-shirt and shorts.
yeah, and
So
I had a
it's-
long t-shirt
yeah.
on, and I had like shorts that went up to my knee.
And even if you didn't, that's no like what are we, like animals? You can't control yourself
Like-
because you see a woman and she has skin on her. Like when you go to the village, sometimes the girls go by the river to go like wash.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect any African man to go around there acting as though, oh, this is the first time I've seen a naked woman. Because you go down there by the river, you probably going to see somebody who's
Yeah.
washing there, who doesn't have access to water in the house where you can turn on the water.
yeah.
So that was very, I mean, even when you told me about it, it was very traumatizing.
Yeah, for sure. But here in Africa, there is a modest dress code. Like crop tops, you should not be wearing crop tops. Like booty shorts, you should not be wearing that either at all. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's long
In
dresses.
Tanzania.
In
But
Tanzania,
we're
per
in
se.
Tanzania.
Yeah,
If you go to some other African countries, the dress code is not as strict as this one.
yeah, because you're either. And I'm not saying the whole beach story, like that's not all people here or whatever. Like I'm not saying that you go to
Absolutely
the
not.
beach. I'm not saying that you go to the beach and you're going to be assaulted. Like that
But
was my
be
experience.
aware
But just be aware
that occurs.
that occurs. So
So
if the
if
man's
someone
like,
starts
oh, let's,
surrounding you and smiling
Yeah.
and they're not trying to be your friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially if they're like in the water. So just be cautious because some of the Tanzanian men who are at the beach, some of them are preying on women who are from America. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So just be careful. But I'm not saying that is for you to be like, oh, I don't want to go to Tanzania. Like I love Tanzania. I go to the beach very often and all that stuff, whatever. It
Yeah.
was a one-time
But it
thing.
did
But it
take
did tell me
time
to be cautious and aware. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to say that.
Yeah.
But I do think Holly, she does need to dress
And
better.
And can I say something too, just to give advice to women? And I know we are kind of, especially when you come to a new culture, a new space, right? You're also trying to be nice. So when someone comes and says, take you, and you don't really want to go, and you're like, oh no, you're trying to be nice, don't. The very first time it happens, use your voice. Like I had to kind of teach some women how to do this, where you just scream. For women who can't find a word to say something, someone is trying to take you and you're feeling uncomfortable, just let out a roar. And after you do that roar, like, ah, you will find your voice to say, no, I said no. I don't want to go. What part of that don't you understand? And guess what? All of that gesticulation you do, they can understand it. They may not speak English, but they can understand that, oh, she's embarrassing me up here in public and yelling and screaming. And that's what you do.
Yeah,
So,
so Holly, I do think it is
an
important
advice.
that maybe she dress a little bit more conservatively. Like, you can still have your style and all that stuff, but I do think it is important because in African, like in most African countries, like Tanzania, everybody's either Christian or Muslim. There's no in between. There's no atheist. There's no like, oh, I'm a spiritual person. Like, it's either one or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There are some.
There are some, but it's very few and far
religion
between.
stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
But there are some.
But yeah, so that whole thing, I just felt like Holly and Dwayne, they need to get themselves together.
Yeah.
We have spent 10 minutes on them. Let's go ahead and talk about TJ and Kim. Yash came on, and basically it seems like their relationship is better, whatever, stuff like that, but I feel like Kim and Yash will always have beef. She said they are both the same personalities. They're both very domineering, and they speak their mind and they're very blunt. I thought Yash is quite funny, quite interesting character. But I just feel like Kim needs to try to get along with the family and stop being so, excuse my French, batshit crazy. Like, please calm down. Like, all that is actually too much.
And
like,
go
for real.
downstairs, talk to the family, like interact. Like you said, she has to go out. You have to get out of the house.
Get out of the house. I always feel like whenever I'm a little bit snippy, I always realize that it's always good for me to go on a boat ride, get away for a little bit, go touch some grass or some stuff.
Yeah.
Like go be barefoot.
Yeah.
And be with nature.
Yeah.
And I always come back feeling much better. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she needs to just make it worth the family because you're there, you have decided to be in this thing. Be peaceful. Stop trying to be miserable. And stop being bipolar. Like, go get some medication. But Julio and Christine, let's with them. So basically, he's saying that she cheated on me. She said that he actually found somebody while they were in the relationship, and he quickly got with her. He said she was hiding the phone or whatever and trying to delete messages. I feel like Julio did not want to be with Christine. Probably had another woman lined up. That's why he broke with her so swiftly or whatever. Do I think Christine really cheated on him? I don't know. Maybe she was being flirtatious with a friend and probably should not have done that or whatever. But do I think she full out cheated? I don't think so. But that whole flirting with a guy friend of yours, I don't think should have happened.
Yeah.
But Julio is not innocent. He is not a victim, and I was not buying the story. But it seemed like Tim, I don't know why Tim is there. Like, he is so annoying. Like, he always is taking the bad guy's side. And, like, I just feel like his opinion's kind of irrelevant. I don't know why he's actually there. I really don't like him. But let's go and talk about Danielle and Johan. She basically saying that she wants to still have a relationship with him because she has a good relationship with his mom and his sister. Why are you going to go be friends with somebody who probably was in on the scam? I am telling you, you come here to a foreign country. This man, you know what I realized when I came to Tanzania? Most men have a girlfriend, are married
have
or
children.
Definitely have kids. Like, if he's like 24, 25,
probably
26,
married or
definitely
has a
has kids, maybe 2, 3, 4. Like, you might be thinking, oh, he's young, he doesn't have any kids. You'll be shocked. I remember there was a border guy who came, the boy looked like he was 18, 19. My dada came and brought me his child. I didn't even know it was a child because it was the dada next door who works there. She was talking to me about their relationship and all this stuff and everything, and she was like, oh, this is the child's father. I was like, he has a child. And then she also told me he was married because he looks so young.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. You have to be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, some foreign men already got women and all this stuff. And then also the thing is sometimes the family will be in on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll
because
be
they're
like,
looking at it like this.
oh, she's American, she has money, where our family's gonna come into money. So that man will have a husband, will have a wife, kids, maybe 10 kids, and they'll smile in your face, be like, yes, he's single, he doesn't have anybody, no kids. They will smile in your face and will be there with the scam. So while you're there being friends with his family, Daniela, only you and God know. Maybe you're still trying to be with him. But it's odd. He cheated on you and all this bolso bata, and you're still being friends with him. I don't buy it. And I feel like she just wants to...
He's one of those other ones who doesn't really like Danielle.
Oh, he hates her. I mean, really, I don't like. Obviously, I think that Johan is a bum. Yeah. Like, you want a woman.
Danielle is not.
She is not a bed of roses, and she not very likable.
But he doesn't like Danielle.
No, she's not likable though. Like, I mean, I really did not feel that bad for her because she just was very demeaning and just very mean, I thought, or whatever and stuff. But also, Johan, you're just a bum. Like, you're one of those men who want to live off a woman and have her pay your bills, and I have an American woman to do this. Like, you're just a skanky panky, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said that he has cheated on her with multiple women, but there's no sex tape or whatever out or whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't need a sex tape to prove
No, you
that
don't.
someone's cheating. You know, like.
But maybe he would. I do think he probably was cheating because most of these men, they will have multiple women until they have the cash cow. But Kenny and Armando, they are fighting over one or two embryos. Apparently, Tim is calling Kenny daddy on the sidelines. Listen, I know Tim says he's not gay, but I don't know any straight man that wears black eyeliner and calls another gay man daddy. I don't know them. I actually don't know them.
Probably is bi.
Yes. Anyway, I guess he'll come out the closet when he's ready. But also, Tim, they're telling Armando, telling Kenny in the back room, don't go and have a child. As far as I'm concerned, Kenny is very manipulative. Armando is a young man.
I know.
I personally feel like he bullies Armando into doing things.
Yeah.
This man did not want to move away from his
games.
He plays games. Like Kenny, he wanted the big wedding. Also, Kenny, he wanted to move to Mexico City. Armando did not want to do that. He did not want to continue to move further and further away from his family. I feel like Armando has made more sacrifices than Kenny because Kenny's always trying to bully or push him to do something that he doesn't necessarily want to do. And because he's younger, he kind of takes advantage of that and stuff. So for Tim's for Tim to be like, oh well, you need to not do it because it's such a sacrifice and you're doing it for Armando. Armando has done a lot of stuff for Kenny as well. So the least you can do is let us have a child together. That's
Kenny
one sacrifice.
Has strong Amanda along.
Yeah.
He has said yes to this whole baby thing.
Right.
Because I think he feels like he'd lose Amanda.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If he does not give in to this.
Yeah.
But he's going to string him along for as long as he can, making excuses here and there.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, yes,
But I don't feel like Kenny... Armando, you have a lot of power in this relationship. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
So strive to get the things that you need from Kenny. Because if you don't, you'll just, he'll continue to treat you like a doormat.
Yeah, so that was Kenny and Armando, you guys. But that was part 2, you all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about Sharper and Shekinah. Let us know what you think about Kenny and Armando. But yeah, y'all, it's Mary.
And Emma.
Be sure to like,
subscribe,
and comment down below.
Bye.
Bye.